I think we're going to open it up now to some questions. We certainly want to engage all of you in this dialogue. And so we have some microphones, I'm assuming, running around the room. If there are any questions out there, I'll take those now. There's one in the back. And if you could just identify yourselves, thanks.
Hi. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah. Allison Smith from Green Order and from New Hampshire. Thanks for the New Hampshire shout out. My question has to do with what scenarios eBay may be looking into that are more on the B2B side of the world and looking at getting into slices of the supply chain and perhaps acting as a clearinghouse for more efficient, faster, smarter procurement that would be totally on the B2B side. I don't know if that's not true to the eBay brand, but just curious what thoughts you have about bringing some of that same efficiency to commercial marketplaces.
Yeah, great question. I think one of the key parts in business is to be really good at what you do. And we've tried B2B several times and I think failed every time or just not succeeded. Because I think it requires a different set of skills than we have. That said, what we do is many small businesses sell on eBay and many small businesses buy on eBay. So many small businesses buy their furniture or their telephone systems or their supplies on eBay. And our focus, though, in more in what you're talking about, has been to work with, I'm going to call them entrepreneurs or small business people or artisans anywhere in the world to help them sell to other places in the world. And so most of eBay sellers think of themselves as small businesses. And so a small business seller in China can now sell worldwide, or an artisan in rural India can sell worldwide. And that's what we're good at, the kind of consumer side of it on the buying side. We do a little bit of work trying to help our sellers find sources of supply, but every time we do it, we find that they're more creative and entrepreneurial in how they go after it and get it done. So bottom line is we don't have any big plans in the B2B space.
Thanks. Take another question.
You can also provide feedback on our products if you'd like. I'm used to it. This is not my picture. Not my picture of a sustainability group. Right. I thought.
We have one here, and then we'll get over here.
Yeah, just a sort of slightly off the wall question, but I was talking to a senior policeman in London a while ago, and he said that eBay had been a boon for thieves, for robbers, that in the past would steal something and they'd go down the pub and get a couple of pounds for it. Now they get market price for it.
Yeah.
Do you see that as a problem, and what's your responsibility in dealing with issues like that?
Yeah, absolutely. You know, this is part of our responsibility. Absolutely. What these technology platforms do, because we can instantly connect millions of people around the world and money and goods are flowing through it, it attracts fraudsters. It attracts fraudsters. So it attracts counterfeit items. It attracts stolen items. It attracts people who are, there's online mafia, so to speak. And so we've got 3,000 to 4,000 people who do nothing but focus on this, of keeping counterfeit off eBay, of keeping stolen goods off eBay. So on counterfeits, we have a verified rights owners program where we work with companies like Nike. Anytime Nike sees anything they think is a counterfeit or not legitimate item, they can take the item down themselves. Auto, boom, these all go. If they think it's stolen, if they think it's counterfeit, if they think it's fake. And then we have proprietary technologies that are constantly filtering to ensure that items are legitimate and fair, including looking at what they sell for. You know, there is no such thing as too good a deal, sustainably. And then That's what we do. The other thing that we enable is the eBay feedback system. And someone stolen stuff and someone that's not legitimate is increasingly finding it hard to sell on eBay because their reputation, we are vetting and promoting the very best sellers that are the very best practices. And based on the community's feedback, we don't rate the sellers, the buyers rate the sellers. And so our data says that counterfeits are now less than half a percent, and stolen items are the same. So we take it seriously. We acknowledge that the internet is going to try to attract these things, and we consider ourselves leaders in fighting online fraud.
Thanks. We have one question over here on this side, and then we'll come here in the middle. Do you have a microphone there?
My name is Brad Allen. I'm not a plant, but I am from New Hampshire as well.
All right.
So anyway.
Go Big Green.
Yeah. While it would be almost impossible for eBay to create a green rating system as products are recommended, like you recommend various sellers by their performance and integrity, could eBay inversely put a warning or a concern when you see an attribute of a product that may contribute to e-waste or other potentially environmental concerns if the product is being transacted on eBay?
I think it's one of those areas where we have real opportunity for innovation. And I actually think the first step will be the first thing you mentioned, which is the positive validation system, which is, and this is where this green team and some of our communities starting to say, all right, how do I identify myself and legitimize myself as a green seller, that I adopt sustainable practices in whatever I sell? And is there a way to acknowledge that on eBay? We have that in World of Good, a badging system, if you will, that authenticates that. And then buyers say, how do I shop green? Is there a way I can do a search filter that I only want to see listings from sellers that are adopting sustainable and green practices? And so there's some momentum building for that. And the way things work on eBay is I don't sit in the ivory tower with my colleagues and design that system. What we do is we engage with our community and engage in a dialogue and get some ideas, and we'll get a trial or an experiment in a certain category in a certain country and try it out and see how it works. And over time build what will hopefully be a real, not just a symbolic thing. It would be really tempting for me to hold a press conference and say, well, we're green, we've got green authentication on eBay and buyers and sellers, and 2% of the people adopt it. The eBay way is it gets some viral adoption and growth, because then it becomes real. It becomes consistent with our values. And I think you'll see that on the positive side in the coming years. And then on the abusive people or the bad people, it's a pretty interesting community. It self-corrects pretty well. I mean, someone that is openly doing something that's not sustainable, the transparency of our marketplace and the fact that every transaction, think about it, every single sale, the buyer rates the seller on 5 dimensions and can write verbal feedback, and everybody that ever deals with that seller forevermore sees that and can see that. That's the principle of transparency. You can go into a store here and have a horrible experience and no one will ever know it. One horrible experience on eBay, and that's broadcast. Everyone that ever buys from that seller knows about that. And it's hard. Bad people screw up at some point. And so that transparency is really what I would depend on.